welcome to the first ever historic road racing championship race. Very excited for this. I'm also a bit nervous, or anxious, I think is a better word for it. Make sure everything is going, and it's the purpose of today. Got a lot of folks here though waiting to watch. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Should be a good one, I hope. We got a little bit of time. Actually, I think I started this too early, if I'm honest with you. I should have held back a little bit, but that's fine. We'll hang out and chat for a little while. We got about 13 minutes until the practice will start, and should be good. So if you didn't see the last video I did, this is my series that I've been thinking about doing this for a long time, probably a couple of years, just as looking at stuff that's out there. Folks ask all the time, you know, that I should run a series or do hosted races. It's a lot of work, and I want to make it meaningful if I'm going to put the time in to do it. And this is the thing that kept coming back into my mind for doing. So hope it goes well. I really want this to go well today. This is a test race. It's a preseason event. There's no points on the line. There's no champion. Really, today's main goal is to make sure technically everything works out. We're going to be putting 40 drivers on a server in really difficult cars to drive and crossing our fingers that everything goes well. And hopefully we get a little bit of a race out of it too today, but mostly a technical kind of test, because we don't want anything to go sideways when things actually start counting. But for those that missed the announcement, right, Historic Road Racing Championship, it's a historic sports car type series, very similar. A lot of folks are like, hey, this is just the World Sports Car Championship from the 50s. It's similar, slightly different ideas though. We've got some different types of events in it, and R Factor 2 has this awesome selection of road circuits, so not purpose-built racetracks, roads closed off, vintage ones. And I just thought of stringing those together with these cars, which are so great to drive. It's a really challenging type of series, but I think something a lot of folks have been looking for, and it has been quite the week since I announced on Monday, 5 days ago now. We were talking about this yesterday. I put the announcement video up on Monday. We had over 150 people sign up for the race, or sign up for the series. We had over 100 take part in the actual pre-qualifying. And I didn't do it to trick anybody, but I purposely made the sign up not like a one button thing. You actually have to do some reading and make sure you went through a couple hoops, which is all kind of there to make sure we're not just getting spam and stuff. So 150 people actually signed up for this, have intentions on racing at some point. Over 100 tried to qualify for this race. We had a few ups and downs with some of the different things, but it's all gone pretty well so far, and hopefully it continues. Hopefully the race is good. Yeah, I really, R Factor 2 is such a fickle beast. It's really good when it's good, but man, it goes weird sometimes. So hoping all of that works out, because that's one of the main things here, is making sure R Factor 2 is going to work. So we're just waiting. It's about 10 more minutes until the qualifying or the practice begins. The schedule this morning for me, it's going to be a 30-minute practice session. That's mostly so everyone joins and has the ability to make sure things are working. And then we'll have a 30-minute qualifying for the race, and it's just 40 drivers that ended up making the cut. And I'll actually, give me 1 second here, and I'll pull up the list of folks that will be seeing race today. But it's a pretty good list. Oh, over my face. Well, that's fine. You don't need to see me. So this is our list of drivers. We'll start towards the top. So we've got 3 different classes that'll be racing today. 3 different classes. I think we found there's almost 40 different nationalities. We have 10 different makes of car, or models, I guess, not all makes. Yeah, I just found this music this morning. Wanted something new for this series. But yeah, we have 40 drivers taking part. Top class is the 5-liter class. Let me just, I'll do this so you can see me. All right. Top class is the 5-liter class. That's going to be the cars like the Ferrari 375, the Jaguar D-Type. Cunningham would be in there. We had one person try to qualify the Cunningham. He got really close, just a little bit off. It was very exciting to watch though. That car is very dynamic. There's supposed to be some Talbots and an Aston Martin up there in the Lagonda. Hopefully we'll see some of those makes later in the season. This race, it's all Ferraris and Jaguars. We got one Mille Miglia Ferrari in there. And I'm racing the D-Type, which I'm actually the slowest D-Type in the race, but I'm pretty happy with my time. I was actually worried for a bit I wasn't going to get in. The times really went down on Thursday, but I was able to squeak out a fast time. Yeah, there's some funny names in there. We're not doing nobody has to use their real name or anything like that, but so the 5-liter class up front, the grid that we're seeing here is not necessarily going to be what the order will be. Hold on, I'll make this a bit smaller so you can see the whole thing. We're going to be doing a qualifying session here in about 30 minutes or so, 45 minutes, and that will actually set the proper grid for the race. There we go. That's a little bit better. Hopefully you can read that still. It's a little small. Yeah. So one of the things about the championship, made it clear in the sign-up video too, is, we don't want to allow folks to change car. Now, I had to change a heart a little bit because this is a test race. We will be doing the great car swap, as I'm going to call it, because I'm sure it's going to be a mess. But we're going to let folks, after this preseason race, there'll be one opportunity for folks to change their entry. And one way I think that's going to, solidify what cars are raced. It probably will weed out most of the odd types, but I want to make sure folks feel like they have a chance. There are a few cars, especially in the 2-liter class, that are so far off the pace there would almost be no way to make a race unless we had a really short entry list. So it'll be good to let folks reassign. But 5-liter class should be interesting. The Ferrari much quicker on the straightaway, or at least in the acceleration. I think the D-Type has the ultimate top speed, but it seems like in the acceleration, Ferrari, they can get the power down without wheel spin, they'll pull away. And then the D-Type does have the top speed. Rouen is it's funny to think Rouen's like the most simple track we're gonna race on for this whole championship, but it is. The rest of the season, I think track knowledge, hopefully, racing at the Isle of Man, Targa Florio, it's not necessarily going to be about the car you choose quite as much at those events. But yeah, Ferrari will definitely be quick today. A few of the folks, Charles up there, I'm pretty sure that's a nickname, and Nicholas up at the front, they're very, very quick. I can't do 24s. I was able to get in the 25s. I'm pretty confident in my race pace being about 27s, 28s, depending on how rubbered up the track is. Yeah, Longford's not super difficult, but I think the rest of the season is more difficult than this track in ways. The hairpin today is going to be the big one. So for the 3-liter class, now you'll see here 2-liter, 3-liter are kind of intertwined. A couple of the cars, or Frank specifically, got up to 12th overall with his 3-liter Aston Martin. So they could really be in play for this. I think that car could potentially be a bit easier to drive than some of the 5-liter cars. I expect some pretty high attrition today. So depending on what happens up front, never quite know. For this championship, and I linked the rule book in the in the description of this stream. Definitely check that out if you're interested. You can still sign up for this. Won't be processing signups here for a few days, but once we get closer to the next race, we'll be doing that. But I think at some events we could definitely see a 3-liter winner. We're going to have an overall championship as well as class championships, manufacturers championships, and hot lap championships. So many championships. We're going to have like 50 winners at the end of the season. We'll get R Factor 2 going here in the background. But 2-liter, 3-liter classes were super competitive. 3-liter class is nice. We have a few different cars in that one. Like, so I saw on the stream somebody was talking about the Mercedes is in there. A few of those. Got the Aston Martins, of course. 1 Gordini or maybe 2 Gordinis, which is cool to see. So it's a nice eclectic class. And then the 2-liters were some of the most competitive times. It was really between that Maserati and the Bristol. We had a couple other cars, somewhat up there early on, but they weren't able to keep the pace. Just pull up the server here, so it should be launching here in just a minute. We'll get in, hopefully be able to do a few practice laps. Yeah, Southpaw Racers here, which is cool. We had an amazing sign up. I've just been so happy with the response and everything so far from everybody. It's been very, very nice to take this idea, which I was looking at it and saying, is this too hard? I'll be interested to see how many folks actually qualify when we get down to the Targa Florio or the Isle of Man events and things like that. But at least for this test round, I'm expecting it to dip off a little bit. For at least for this test round, it's been absolutely wild for a little while. Yeah, one of the things, Michael, I saw you in the stream saying, how do folks do these times? And this is something, and a reason we did this test race. There was the rubbering of the track is super important. It can gain you, a second, couple seconds. So in our qualifying sessions, every one of them was like an hour and a half, and it reset the track. And we found with by the end of the session, especially on the populated sessions, the track was quite a bit faster. So for the next rounds, for the pre-qualifying only, we will be running a static track. But that's why we did this, to learn those things. So it's a bit unfair, and I wish we knew that ahead of time. For folks that were in the most populated sessions, the times are a bit quicker. But it's not going to gain you 10 seconds. I think a couple seconds at the most, in my experience. All right, so the server should be going up here any second. We'll jump in, get everything situated. And I need my own server password, of course. But hoping everything goes smoothly today on the technical side. R Factor is a fickle, like I was saying earlier, a fickle beast. And Just Race has been absolutely awesome throughout this. If you're looking for somewhere to do some racing, this isn't an advertisement. They did not tell me to do to do anything, but they do run a lot of Automobilista. I think some Assetto Corsa, some AMS2, and now some R Factor as well. This is a somewhat newer thing. I think they do some events with R Factor too, but I'm definitely pushing their experience with it in doing this series. So that's somewhat of why we need this test race as well. And I think it'll be fun. All right, I am on the server. Give me 1 second here. I'll share the server screen in just a second. we'll go out and do some practice. Just got to get warmed up and hope everything feels good. All right, you can probably hear the engines in the background. Just getting myself set up as an admin. We do got a race admin today, thanks to Ian from my Discord. And all right, so let's share the screen here. There we go. So we're in the session. We got 30 minutes here, practice, make sure everything's working, and then we'll do the actual qualifying for this. Barry, my fingers are also crossed. I haven't had too many problems with crashes up to this point. We're mostly just worried about, you know, it's probably a bit loud in the background, apologies. Mostly worried about how 40 cars will react on a server, but we're not doing driver changes. We're not doing, you know, 60, which is what some of the huge events do. So I think it's possible. I think it'll be all right. All right. But I gotta actually practice a little bit here too. I know you've been enjoying the music, but we are gonna pause that. And we'll go in, I guess I'll leak my super secret setup. There we go. And it seems like, wow, we already got 20 or so on the server. I might give it another minute or so for folks to join before I try to do some laps. Yeah, major shout out to a few folks. Who was it this morning? I was painting a few, but I think we have every car painted up for this. Toby did a few this morning to round out the grid. I did like 20 liveries or something. I don't even know. We had Disarming Baton do a few, and a couple other folks, and I feel bad I'm forgetting who. And a lot of folks did some of their own ones, but we had some pretty strict rules around the liveries. Making sure they kind of feel like 1950s liveries. We have numbers that look somewhat like the numbering that was at the Targa Florio. And so hopefully it's all good. All right, let me get ready to drive here. I've got a few overlays. You know me, I don't necessarily like a lot of stuff on the screen, but for an online race, I want to be safe. So we've got a mirror, we've got a few stat boards and things for you to watch along. Top right will have the time of the race and laps remaining, my best lap, all that. Bottom left will have the leaderboard. And in the bottom, you might not be able to see the very bottom. It's some more information about the car. Try to keep it as uncluttered as possible, but all right. Yeah, and just word, if you sign up during this race shortly after, we're not going to be processing any of the new signups for a few days as we just get this whole event situated and completed. Pit exit is the scariest part, I think, of this race. So yeah, every driver in this race should have a custom livery. There might be one or two that it doesn't show up correctly for them, but hopefully everybody does. Definitely better than everybody having the same exact liveries. As always with some of these live races, really hard to watch the chat and know when I'm doing it at the same time, so it'll be a bit delayed on a lot of the chat today, but hope you have fun in there. We got 24 minutes in this practice session. I'm just going to try to do a handful of laps and make sure everything feels good. Hopefully the stream looks good. Let me know if it sounds off or something like that. I know it'll come up in the chat if it hasn't already. Why does it look green around the track? It's a bit tinted, and it's such a strange bug. Nobody could really figure it out this week. something with this track specifically. I think it's something to do with it not being DX11 fully enabled or something, but only online it has this green tint to it. So just pretend it's early springtime and all the trees are budding and it's pollen or something. We'll let the 108 by here. I don't know all the cars and numbers yet, but that's another thing I'm excited for this season, is to, you know, because everyone's going to have their own liveries and things, recognize the different drivers and cars. We got somebody that ran wide in the hairpin there. I don't think I'm going to run with vehicle labels on today. They seem to cause some stuttering for me too with the vehicle labels, so keep those off. Yeah, this is an old track. This is the VLM Virtua Le Mans group, who used to do tracks for the original R Factor, GTR2, and all the ISI sims, or at least they were converted, and their tracks are the best tracks for those old sims. And this is one of them. It's been upgraded quite a lot, though. It's actually very feature-rich for R Factor 2, and it doesn't look like this offline, so if you want to race this track offline, it actually looks really, really good. I think it still looks okay, even like this. But they added in all the features so that the track rubbering and everything works correctly. We've got live marshals on the sides of the track, all that stuff. This hairpin's going to be the issue spot today. I can already tell everyone's locking up their brakes, so am I. What, 314 there runs wide. So you can tell the class of the car. The cars are numbered with numbers associated to their class. So the 100 cars are 5-liter cars. The 200 cars are 3-liter cars. This is kind of confusing, but the 3-liter cars rather are the 200 cars, and then the 2-liter cars are the 300 cars. Probably should have thought through that better, but that's how it is. So kind of like 1, 2, 3 class-wise. 1 technically are the quickest, 2 are the second quick, and 300s are the slowest. But that helps identify the cars a bit better too. Everyone's got either manufacturer liveries or national liveries painted up, which should be really cool to see everybody out here. Seems like everybody's been able to join. I haven't noticed any issues yet with stability or anything like that. It seems to be working. All right, try to do a little bit of a lap here. Funny thing about the Jaguar that I've found, the D-Type here, is it's better on full fuel. After the tires and brakes and everything come up to temperature, maybe 2 laps into the race will be the fastest the car will be. And then it kind of gets worse. It's all right until you get it to about a little under half tank of fuel, and then it's actually really hard to drive on light fuel. So, not sure what my strategy exactly is going to be today, but I'm definitely going to be taking a pit stop. It might be possible for a couple folks to stretch it. Oh, and you'll see these cars in front. If you're driving and someone joins the server, it gives them a temporary car for a minute until we go back to the pits. So this shouldn't happen during the race. Nobody's allowed to join during the actual race itself, but there's a couple folks in front that have joined while I've been on track. A lot of folks. All right, we'll pull off and jump back to the pits and see how everything's going. Nice. We do have a support event live for this. A little too late to join that one now. Oh boy, hopefully this didn't crash. There we go. All right. All right, A few people leaving and entering. 34 folks on right now. Hopefully it's all working. Yeah, so some of the cars might be able to make it the whole race without pitting. Others definitely have to pit. The Jag somewhere in the middle. Seems like we can do maybe 22 laps or so. Before the fuel runs out. And I think this race is going to be about 25 laps. So it would be hard to save 3 laps of fuel during it. Like everything's working okay, hopefully. Oh, it's paused. I was wondering why I wasn't seeing any cars. Well, it's probably very loud. All right, we'll stay in my car so it's not so loud. All right. Things have worked. Things are loaded. How was the... I think I saw a chat in there about it maybe being a little loud while I was driving. Thanks, Jimmy. It's been a hectic week getting everybody joined up, but it seems like everything's working. It's kind of tough to be driving in a series and driving and doing all the admin stuff and everything, but fingers crossed things turn out okay. All right, so everything looks like it's loaded. We got 37. There should be 40 drivers today, hopefully. If everybody that qualified makes it in, we should have 40 in the end. I'll go out and do a few more laps of practice now that everybody's in here. This is R Factor 2, for the folks that don't know, and it's been really nice this week. A few people that were doing this said they had never played R Factor 2 before, and this made them get it set up, and they're really enjoying it now. So happy to show some folks a new sim. It's so annoying sometimes, this sim, but when it works, it's so good, and it's a lot of fun. Pit exit is going to be such a tricky thing today. Oh yeah, just so you know too, on that leaderboard, we haven't changed any of the photos and the teams and things like that for cars. So keep that in mind as well. It's not necessarily the exact car livery and stuff that somebody's using. Cars in front. I saw one disappear there, but the man just exited the car. Last few folks joining in, I think. So this car, driving these types of cars in general, especially the high-powered ones, all about trying to get back on the throttle as soon as you possibly can going through a corner. So when I'm coming up to a bend, I'm trying to get to the apex and get on the throttle before we get to the apex. That helps rotate the car, helps obviously get a lot of speed down the straightaways, but you have almost no lateral grip in the car. No downforce, obviously. Probably the opposite of downforce. So you have to drive them very differently, and there's been a good chunk of folks too that I know this is their first time really racing this type of car, and it's a learning curve, but it's fun. They're a lot different. I feel like once you get the hang of it, it's almost easier in a way. Famous last words, probably. Thank you, Jim. J-Turn in the chat has been the main person, I think, helping get everything set up and running from a technical side, and they've been very, very, very helpful throughout all of this, so I appreciate that. Seems like everything's working really well so far, so fingers crossed it stays this way. Got about 13 minutes left until qualifying is going to start. I'm going to try to do a couple laps here just to get into the groove before qualifying. Now, we did allow in this series, there's no driving aids in general. There's 100% damage. So if you hit something, you're pretty much out of the race, whether that be a car or a wall. But we did allow clutch help, because I know there's some folks that don't have a clutch or aren't able to use one, or use a controller even, maybe. I don't know how you would drive with a controller with these cars, but it might be quicker to use the clutch. I'm going full reel. It's about split, at least out of the qualified drivers, with folks going full reel and folks using clutch help. But hopefully it doesn't become a big thing where you have to use the clutch help to be fast or something like that. I don't think it will. Again, I think this is the easiest track that we're going to race on this year, so. Stopped on the left there. It's funny, big slides in this car are totally okay, and they allow you to catch it. This corner is almost flat with a full tank of fuel, but not quite for me. Coming onto the highway and cut the grass just a little bit there on the left. You want to walk it all the way out to the left side wall. Brake just past the 300 marker, but as hard as you can on the brakes without locking up. Get it down the gears, second gear. Then again, on the accelerator as soon as you can. The 222 spun out there. The Spanish entry. Maserati, if I'm remembering correctly, maybe a Bristol. Nice slide through the final corner there. This will be my best lap of the session. Yeah, they are really fun to drive, and all of the mods that you're seeing here, you need R Factor 2. But all of the mods, the tracks, the cars, they're all free once you get R Factor 2. And R Factor 2 is on sale right now on Steam for I think like $6 or something crazy like that. So it's a great time to get it if you don't have it. I will not hide the fact that it's not the easiest sim to get up and running, and it doesn't always work 100% perfectly, but when it does, it's so good. A lot of power sliding there. It's probably not quick. Yeah, that was my best lap. I didn't even notice. I got so much going on right now, it's hard to pay attention. I'm gonna have to get as focused as I can for the race. If anybody, I've got a bunch of folks pinging me on Discord, and it's hopefully nothing bad, but I'm not gonna be able to talk to you right now. Get it up the gears. Can sometimes get that one flat. Not too bad. Yeah, it's too bad the summer sale didn't coincide with when I launched this league, because I know a few folks bought it at full price. It's very expensive still for such an old sim, but it is good. I mean, it has, the physics are the draw, I think. It feels so good to drive when you get it set up properly. Yeah, the nice thing too about the mods for R Factor 2 is that they're just inside of the Steam Workshop. Tony sent me a ping for that. All the mods for R Factor 2, or a lot of them, most of them. Got a car exiting right in front. That's probably going to happen at least once in the race, but it worked out. No issues. They're all in the Steam Workshop, so you just click one button to download them. Couldn't be easier. And everything you're seeing here is all Steam Workshop mods, except for the paint schemes. These are specific to this league. Oops, Scooby in front's running off the track. I'm almost doing the same thing. That's fine. That's a nice entry to the hairpin. Looks like we've got some weird pit issues. Hopefully that'll be fine if everybody's qualifying at the same time. Whoa. All right. Lost the rear of the car there. I'm going to try to just pit in real quick. We got 6 minutes left in the practice. And then we'll start the qualifying session. Oh, I see the Ferrari hanging out in front of me. That's so cool. Ooh, we might spin it. Held on to it. Who's in the 122? I'll have to look that up. Oh, that's my bad. So late on the brakes. All right, I gotta slow down though. All right, so we'll come into the pits down to second gear, 60 miles per hour. We are going to run a speed limit. It would just be catastrophic if we didn't. We had cars coming into the pits or trying to rocket through the pits at hundreds of miles an hour, so probably best that we run a speed limit. All right. So everything's working, I think. Oh, I got a lot of folks here too. Thanks for watching so far. The good stuff is yet to come. We've got a 30-minute qualifying session coming up here in just 5 minutes, and that will set the grid for this race. So important to get a good lap. I want to definitely make sure I don't start behind all the 2-liter cars and stuff. So try to go out and set a banker. Try to set a banker lap, get a decent time under the 230s, and then can try to push for a better lap time. At Le Mans, we'll probably try to figure out something for the pit limit. It's the yellow car. See, you'll see occasionally these yellow cars. We shouldn't see it once the racing starts because everybody will have joined, but that's a car that's joined since I was driving. R Factor to not cause any stuttering or something. Just shows you that car. The disc brake dive, I like it. The disc brake dive. But it should be good. 4 minutes then. Interesting. So it looks like we might have an issue with some garage spots. I don't know if there's anything we'll be able to do about that now, so hopefully it's not a huge issue during the race. Thank you, Ray. I'll definitely need the good luck. Yeah, so for the race, I'm going to take full fuel off the start because the car just handles better. I'm going to do one stop. The lap count is super off here because we can do about 22 laps on the 47 gallons. And we definitely don't need 30 gallons for the second stop. But I don't know. Maybe put in 26. I do kind of want to fill it back up, but it takes a long time. So it's kind of a balance between hitting to take fuel so the car handles better and how long it actually takes to fill it. Yeah, 40. There was a 40 driver limit for this race. It looks like we maybe should have set it a couple lower. We'll figure that out better for the next ones. But yeah, 40 cars for this one. It'll be different at every track. We don't have exact numbers. We might try to. I know Spa-Francorchamps has a oddly low number of spots, so we might try to raise that for that one. But some of the races could be as low as 30. I don't know if we'll go much higher than 40 just because of performance and all of that. And it's too late to join now, but if you are interested in the series and think, oh, I could never qualify, we are running a second server during the championship. There's no specific requirement for joining that, although I would strongly encourage folks only join if they feel ready to race. And that goes up at the same time as this one. It's automated to join. It doesn't have the same officiating and points and all that stuff, but if you just want to drive the cars with other folks, hopefully that serves that purpose. And I think we had around 20 folks signed up for that one last I checked as well. We're not going to let anybody spectate just because of bandwidth and stuff. There is a stream happening. I don't have a link to it handy about, you know, showing some of the racing generally. I'll try to do a highlights video too at some point this week about the race and what happened during it. But this will be my perspective this stream for today. Yeah, hopefully I don't run out of fuel like that today. Oh man. Yeah, hopefully the garage thing doesn't end up being an issue. We'll see, I guess. 39, we're one short. Already trying to go fast up at the front here. Running out of fuel at Sebring, never heard of it. All right, 7 seconds. It'll jump over to qualifying here. I'm gonna go out on full fuel because the car just feels better. I'm just gonna try to run the entire qualifying session and hopefully get a good time. Oh, it's shaky. That's not in. All right. People chatting about strategy. A little late in the game to be figuring that out. I'd be happy in qualifying if I can do a 26. Uh-oh. Hopefully it didn't just crash on me. The car has turned black. There we go. Man, that was scary. Okay, we'll go out. Let me just check my setup and everything one more time. There we go. Go out. I'm just going to try to drive this whole session. There's no class splits for qualifying since the grid is somewhat mixed in speed across the classes. We're just gonna start whatever order we end up in. I got hit coming out of the pits. Oh boy. All right, we'll try to do that one more time. Do over. Can't really avoid that. Yeah, it does kind of look like a Batmobile. So I get this comment. I mentioned it, I think 4 or 5 times in the Le Mans video I did about how these are fictionalized versions of the cars. They're not trying to be super accurate, super realistic or anything. But they're all built off of the Cobra. They have physics very, very much on brand or on spec with the real car. So although they may look a little wrong here and there, the physics for this D-Type are trying to simulate the D-Type as well as it can. So it's a really nice set of cars. Every single one of them drives a lot differently. This is great. It's so cool to see everybody in the paint schemes and everything. 137 in front, I think, looks so authentic, especially as like a Targa Florio car. If I can start in the top 10, that would be excellent. Just get out of the fray a little bit. We've tried to warn everybody as much as possible to be careful on the first lap going into the hairpin, but you can only warn people so much. Something will undoubtedly happen, and you just gotta hope it doesn't happen to you, because that would be a very short race. We let folks choose whether or not they wanted to paint the car in the manufacturer's colors, which I think the Ferrari in front clearly has done, or if they wanted to paint their car as their entrant colors, so either their nationality or whatever they identify with, grandparent, maybe where they live now, or country they like, who knows. We're not too specific on that, but every car should represent something. That was interesting. So we see we got a silver car in front. My guess is they're a German driver. It looks like Shaky has made the race. So we've got all 40 folks here, which is so good. Heyo, I'm surprised you didn't enter this. I thought you might have wanted to try this out. I don't know if you do R Factor 2 though. All right, this first lap's not really going to be much because I'm stuck here behind a car, but we'll get around him through the lower part of the lap. They also let folks choose their helmet color, so most of the cars should be running custom helmets as well, which is neat. I think your helmet was really your individuality. And even in these days when it was just solid color helmets, Nuvolari in the 30s was always noted as that red helmet. You could really recognize him no matter the car he was driving. It's on a first gear. It's going to be hard to get a clean lap in this session. There's just so many cars on the track. A little bit of wheel spin coming out. And took to the grass. No issues there. I think that's a Talbot actually that I just passed. So it's a French car painted up like a German car. A second gear here. Nice Maserati in front. I think that's Shaky actually, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I get for checking chat while I'm driving. So this is qualifying right now. We're just trying to get a clean lap. It's gonna be really hard to get any kind of clean lap, but that's part of it, I guess. It'll be less of an issue on the bigger tracks. We'll pass on the right. We try to enforce, it's not really enforced, but it's suggested heavily to try to pass on the right on this straightaway. Faster cars to the right, just to give it a distinction so that folks can expect what somebody's gonna do. You don't have to try to guess which line you're gonna take as much. right, this is gonna be a very slow lap, but I'll at least have a time, which is always good. Already got some 225s at the front, man. Some of the drivers competing in this are very good, beyond good. Clutch slipped a little bit there. Oh, car right out of the pits right as I'm turning in. I think it's the same car as before too. That's a 228. That's not very good, but I'm in 7th right now, so I guess that's not the worst thing. Oh, car in front ran a bit wide. That corner, that left-hander, is one of the easiest corners to have an issue with on the track. There he goes. Unlike iRacing or some of the other sims, you don't need to be stopped to exit the car, which is a good and a bad thing. It's good in a big accident. You can just kind of escape out of it real quick to prevent more damage, but obviously a little immersion braking there. Yeah, for folks looking to join, it's too late, I think, to join now. I'm not sure about the support race, but if you haven't signed up for the series or anything like that, it's too late to join this one. We do pre-qualifying and practicing the whole week leading up, so. All right, I have a bit of clean track in front, a couple cars up there, but trying to make the most of the end of this lap. I'm still 0.6 off my last lap from that first corner thing. Yeah, I guess the Steam sale was a perfect time, or just a few days late, but for anybody getting it now. I've been pushed back to 8th, gaining a bunch of time here in the straightaway though. Might be able to turn a better lap out of this one. Take what I can get. Down a 2nd gear. It's really easy to overrun this one. I did it a little bit there. Get the car to turn. Oh, I hit that culvert. That's not good. That can damage your wheel if you're not careful. All right, this isn't going to be a good lap, but hopefully get a good run through the first corner this time without somebody exiting the pits. We'll have to see. Oh my God, somebody's coming out again. A little bit later this time. I should be able to get around him. They didn't hold me up too much. I think that's Frank. Almost too fast for this left-hander. He's going to be quicker through this whole end part of the lap too. He's on an out lap, so I don't really want to let him by, but he might force his way by here. Down to 1st gear. Basically have to walk it into the hairpin. Oh, they make contact behind. That's a bad mistake. Definitely shouldn't be doing that. Matter though, we'll just stay in it. I'm a 2nd up right now on my time. Hopefully I can get through the end of the lap here with no dramas. Nice and smooth. That was really good through that corner. Up to 3rd gear. Just don't need that extra torque in 2nd to accelerate. To understeer. I think I could have worked on the setup a bit, maybe to get that corner better. I've heard rumor there's a few other D-types taking it flat. All right, hard on the brakes though. Gotta get it slowed down. Car in front squirreling as well. I locked up the tires there. It's a bit sideways. Both make the corner though. You just want a nice exit. Oh yeah, picking up time. As long as I can get through this kink all right. This should be an okay lap, a bit better than the last one. All right, come flat to the line, 1.4 seconds up. I don't know what that'll be, but oof, disappeared in front. Maybe they finished their quali. All right, we'll just keep on it. I'm gonna run the whole session here, pretty much. The 127 flat. Would like to get a 126 at least. Hard braking for the hairpin. You always want to go a bit quicker, but there's no grip on the cobblestones. A lot of oversteer there coming out. Right, up 0.8 though on the last lap, so this would be the lap if I can get through the second half of it all right. Second gear is a little fast there. Still can get the apex though. You just got to be really comfortable with the oversteer. Learn how the car behaves when you add a little more throttle, and it becomes so fun. All right, a second up. Just gonna not bottle the end of the lap. Somehow I ended up with just perfectly clear track here. Gotta take advantage of it when you get it. Down to second gear, locking up all over the place. Use that engine braking as hard as you can. Not the best corner, but losing maybe a 10th through there. Not the end of the world. Should be about 0.8 up on my last lap. Should be good. That'll be a good 26. All right, 6th place overall. We'll just keep going. Who knows? The track's just gonna get better and better. My car's gonna fall off at some point though. Quite as quick through here this time. About halfway done the session already. It goes by really quick. Full second gear there. Very easy corner to understeer on. I don't know why that one's so hard. All right. Rouen is a track in France, for those that don't know. It was raced on through the 70s. Public roads, of course. The roads are still there. They could technically, this is one. Oh, I'm gonna understeer. All right, just exit the car. Be kind of fun to see the crash, but I don't want to cause any issues for anybody. We'll watch it in replay though, why not? It was just a big understeer. You let off the throttle and you're just completely out of it. That one wouldn't be pretty, I don't think. Oh boy. Everything is happening. All right. I don't know if it's worth going back out or not. How many comments on the footwear? Yeah, I mean, these are super comfortable slippers. They're rubber soled. You really can't have a better racing shoe. I thought they would, I thought they were super appropriate for this. I did end up buying some racing shoes when I was doing some of the rally stuff. You definitely need shoes with the Husingfeld pedals. I've heard some folks can actually do it barefoot or with socks, but I don't know how you would do that. I mean, I guess if you set them up really soft, maybe, but for the amount you have to push, having something to support your foot is very helpful. Super Kid, these are a mod, but it's free. And in the rule book that I've linked, there is a link to the mod itself. It's the 1954 Endurance Sports Car mod, and they're free to download as a part of the of R Factor 2's add-ons. All right, so I'm in 7th right now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do much better than that. Oh, I'm in 8th now. I got to go back out there. Can't just sit, watch my time tumble. Yeah, I used to use socks all the time with the G27, and even when I got the CSL pedals, that's when I started thinking about shoes, but I was still using some socks there. I think when you go load cell is when I'll abandon that. I apologize. That was a bad exit by myself. That was a very bad exit. I should have just sped up. Watch the mirror like a hawk. That's a brand new painted car I said this morning. Very nice Italian flag. All right, so I'm in 8th right now. So my goal of starting the top 10 is still alive. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a better lap in the moment. The HUD that you're seeing, so at the very bottom of the screen, the really thin line, that is the actual R Factor 2 HUD, and it's a mod I think called Tiny HUD, something like that. It's in the workshop. The other overlays for the time remaining and for the standings, that is actually SimHub. And I've been getting into SimHub a bit recently. You might have seen in the last couple of videos I did, I had pit boards showing in R Factor and GTR2 rather than having always on HUD. And you can do stuff like that with SimHub, so I've been getting more into that, and those are a couple SimHub dashes. Yeah, I'll admit, the whole socks for shoe things, it's obviously, if you've never used load cell pedals, you see somebody racing in shoes, like racing shoes, it seems a little ridiculous, but if you've used load cell pedals, they have to push so hard, you need to wear a shoe, and racing shoes, as a matter of fact, happen to be made to do this, so they're not a bad choice. You can pick up some pretty cheap racing shoes too. Ones that you would never really want to wear in a real car because of the quality or the ratings and things. Oh, these two in front, that's a bad idea. What are we doing here? That was just two people trying to go for the same thing at the same time. All right, try to get a lap out of this. I'm a little slow coming to the line because of that. Oh, the track is gripping up so much, you can actually just feel it. All right, so maybe I will be able to do a better lap. It's a good thing I stayed out, or came back out. By the end of this race, this is going to be very grippy. I don't know what happens when all the cars run for 60 minutes. Just stay with it though, just try to put a clean lap together. Got a 23 for the pole time right now, so I should be able to get within a second of the fastest guys, I think. A little bit of oversteer there. Right out to the white line, and 7/10 up on my previous best. I think why do I not use the pit board? I do when I race offline. I don't want to be a hazard to folks when I race online, and also for streams where people jump in and out, they might want to know what lap I'm on, what time is left, things like that. So that's why I race with the HUD and the virtual mirror and everything in online races. You know I love going full reel, but racing without the virtual mirror and stuff would just be very unsafe. Be hard to see with that little mirror to the right. All right, come through the final corner. This is going to be my best lap, and I'm picking up a lot of time coming through there. So I'm going to be well into the 25s. We'll see where this puts me. We'll keep on it, do another lap. Yellow flag ahead. Put on the dirt just a little bit there. Car kind of sideways in front. It's 25.4. Oh boy. It's good. You can't really check the lap time right when you go over the line because this track is just immediately into the next lap. Oh, it gripped up a lot better than I thought it would there. It's a balance between slowing down too early for this corner and overshooting it. As always, I'm hoping on in race pace that I can be more consistent or have less incidents and things than some of the others, but might be kind of wishful thinking. The grid ended up being very, very talented overall. A lot of really capable drivers, a lot of folks that do a lot of R Factor 2 as well. Yeah, that might have been better than my pre-qualification time for this race. But there's a lot more rubber on the track now too, which shows you how much that matters. But this lap's not going to be better, but try one more. If the next one's not better, I will just practice a pit entry. And then we'll be getting ready for the race. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling there's so much more grip on the track now than there was at the start of this session. This track's just very much rubbered in. A bit wide through the first corner there, just trying to get on the throttle to rotate. There we go. That was good. A bit wide, but it's all right. Much faster entry into the hairpin. Still got it slowed down. Get back on the throttle. Just eggshells under the throttle. I saw our car flicker there for a second. I lost a bunch of my time right there. Dump truck through there. It's gonna lose me a few tenths. All right. Might be the end of the dream. Do have time for one more lap. Do I want to do that? Might do one more. I see it in the chat. Do one more. So I'll do one more. You never know. It's just awesome to race with folks that are so good. I've never tried or thought I was very, very good. But you throw a bunch of folks that normally race GT3 cars or something into some of these and they'll be all over the place. So to have a 40-car grid where everybody's pretty good at what they're doing in some cars like this is just a special thing. Well, I'm actually up. Somehow I'm up. I would need 2 tenths to actually jump a position here, but it's never over till it's over, I guess. All right, we'll try one more lap. And we'll pit at the end of it if it's no good. 2.5 minutes. Should have just enough time to complete it. Very good through the first corner there, over the hill. Not so great down the hill. It's just a long time waiting for the car to rotate. Slide it in though to the hairpin. Ooh, I might not be able to get it slowed down. All right. It was close. It was close, yes. I'm the esport athlete now. Make sure I don't cut anybody off here. I will practice a pit entry because that's going to be another thing. It's the stuff you kind of forget about. That was an interesting line there. 267. One of our 3-liter cars. Yeah, you always forget to try those things like pit entry and pit exit and starts, practicing starts, which I'll admit I have not done a whole bunch of. I have done a couple. But it's all that extra racecraft stuff that's important to practice, as well as driving and going fast. I appreciate everyone being here, though. This is a bit more folks than I usually get for a stream, so it's cool to see some excitement. I wish we'll try to look into like a full-on broadcast situation. I don't know. Kind of spitballing with some folks. We had enough to set up for this test race, and I think the highlights could be cool. I haven't exactly thought of how I'll do them yet, but we'll come up with something to share some of the moments from the race. All right, pit entry. There's a solid line in the middle of the road, and that's when I need to start braking. Try not to lock it up and crash. There we go. Perfect. Smooth as jazz. All right. Yeah, don't die on lap 1. That's the goal. It's loud. Sit on board. So it looks like Mr. Leglerg 23.5. That's a wild time. Yeah, I might have to put something together. I'm noticing the replay is super... It's a little stuttery. All right, so we look at the grid as it is right now. I think there's still a bit of time for somebody to turn a lap, but it looks like Ascari might have gotten the pole for the 3-liter class. It's totally died on me, the replay. We do have all 40 cars turning a time though. Yes, Ascari up there in the Maserati. And then if we look a little bit further back, Frank, I think, got the fastest time for a 3-liter, or a 2-liter rather, in the Aston Martin. There is no 113, 213, and 313. I didn't want to assign somebody a number if they're superstitious about anything. I don't know. We just assigned everybody their numbers. A few folks chose their numbers, but most of them were just given to folks, and I think everybody enjoyed that. But looks like tentatively I might have got P7, which is kind of the middle of the 5 liters. I think there's 11 of us, if I'm not sure, 12 of us, so a little over half, but I'm happy enough with that. And it's an hour race. This race is about half as long as the rest of our races are going to be, and on an easier track overall. So I think this race will be a lot about endurance and making sure you can do consistent laps and things. Oh, is Ascari a 2-liter? That's a Maserati, so it must be. All right, it's going to go to a warm-up session here for 3 minutes. It's the final 3 minutes before the race starts. Hopefully the sim doesn't crash right now. It worked. All right. This should be an interesting race. Fingers crossed it all goes clean down to the first hairpin, through the first hairpin. I think if we can get through the hairpin cleanly, then there's a chance this race goes pretty smooth. Certainly after the first couple of laps, it'll be good. Get spread out a little bit. There will be pit stops for almost every car during the race at some point. I think I'm going to take mine a little bit early. We'll see though. Yeah, there's a schedule for the season inside the rulebook, which is in the description of the video. 6 races. This is the non-championship preseason race. There'll be 6 more races. We'll be starting in Longford, at Longford in Australia for the first race of the season. 2 hours there. That'll be in July, towards the end of July. All the races are kind of towards this latter half of the month, 3rd weekend of the month. Yeah, we'll be racing at Longford, then Spa-Francorchamps, which I think is going to be a very popular one. Then we'll be going, I believe, to the Isle of Man for a TT race. So it'll be a time race against everybody else, kind of like this, but we'll be starting individually, and you're not really racing the other cars. You're just racing your time. But that'll be a 6-lap race around the Isle of Man TT circuit. Now, I am so excited for those races. I hope we can pull it off and everything. But from there, I believe we do Dundrod right after that, and that'll be a head-to-head race. And I think that could be one of the hardest races of the season because that track is fast and very narrow. Then we'll be headed to the Targa Florio, another TT race, 3 laps at the Targa Florio, which will be so cool to do. We should definitely know how to do a TT race by then, so it'll just be really fun to do a race around that track. And the last race of the season's at Le Mans, and 2-hour race there as well. None of these races are necessarily emulating the real life thing, but of course it's not too far off. Yeah, over 150 people signed up, Sebastian, and over 100 tried to qualify for this race. We got the top 40. There was some math involved to make sure all the classes were somewhat balanced and everything. And everybody that made the race did a really good job. Everyone that didn't make the race too. It might have just been the car selection that they had necessarily wasn't the best for this track, and that's why I'll be letting people reassign one time after this race. But yeah, first round of the historic road racing championship. Thank you so much for being here to watch, and thanks everybody that's going to participate in this. Oh my god, hopefully it loads for me. This is when you don't want things to crash. Come on, there we go. All right, get on the grid, make sure everything feels good. Starting on the inside. This will definitely be the time for screenshots post-race. "30 seconds till we go." Everybody cross your fingers for a good start. Full tank of fuel. Be pitting probably around halfway whenever the car starts feeling bad. 10 seconds to go. All the cars look like they're here. Fingers crossed for a good start. So excited for this. All right. Green's out. Away we go. All right, seems like everybody got away all right. Trying no crazy moves here. The third gear, I'm a little slow. I gotta speed it up a bit. Quite fast into the left-hander. I got a car on the left side. 198. It's a very Dan Gurney looking Ferrari. Let's stick to the inside and come down to the famous, treacherous, infamous, pick your word, pick your adjective, hairpin. Ooh, a couple cars up front knocking into each other a little bit. Get it down to first gear. Everybody playing nice so far, I think. Please, nobody come careening in. Oh, a couple cars wide in the back. And a car bouncing around in the front. Hopefully there's no server issue here. I think things are all right. All right, got through the hairpin, at least my section. I hope everybody behind it as well. I thought I saw a couple cars going wide there. I just got to settle in. Do some times. I still got Juan Me behind me. That's a Ferrari, I believe. Ferrari in front too with this number 198. Mr. Robillard. Looks kind of like a mail truck with the US emblem on the back, or US type. All right. Up to fourth gear. Green flags waving in front. We'll see if there's any leftover carnage when we come around after this first lap. Juan Me sticking to me here. We got a couple cars really fighting for the braking zone in front. A little bit early here in this opening lap. A second. Yeah, everybody in front here is very talented. I mean, this whole field is, just because of the qualifying we did and everything, you had to be very quick to make the race. So I'm happy to see things seem to have gotten off to a good start for the most part. But to be honest, that's what I expected. Don't watch the chat. That was close. All right, come across the line, complete lap number 1. Should be around 25 laps if I was to guess around this track. The 3rd gear. Whoa, car understeering in front. That red D-type there, the Danish entry. Or not Danish. Maybe Danish, I don't know. Side by side. Just because it's not lap 1, still want to be a bit careful down here into the hairpin. Down to 1st gear. Ooh, the Ferrari quite late on the brakes. He's going to jump over the curbs. He's on my left side here. Going to pinch me in a little bit. It's probably going to be a bit quicker through this section. Ferrari accelerates really well. It's the 1-2-2. Is it Fernan? Understeer a little bit there. It's all right. Just play it cool here. I don't want to do anything that's going to take me out of the race. I think I've got decent race length pace. I feel like I can drive this car all day. We do got one me right behind me. Have a heck of a slipstream here, and the D-type is a lot faster than the Ferrari in a straight line. It's gonna fade to the inside a little bit. We'll lock up the brakes here on the inside. He's actually very good in the braking zone. Nope, he's gonna run a bit wide. All right, no issues there for me. Just a bit hot on the brakes. The D-type can brake a bit better than the Ferrari can. It's so fun to have different cars that have different types of performance back and forth a bit. It's also, you're going to see that throughout the season. Some of the tracks just suit other cars better. But that's part of the championship, part of what sports car racing, I think, in this era is. Down a 3rd gear here. Chasing Robillard now. He pulled out a bit, fighting there with Fernan. You'll notice the shifts in these cars are quite slow, and that's one of the features of this mod, and it's very accurate drivetrain. Ooh, Juan me behind just shot wide there. Luckily there's runoff if you're going to commit to running wide. It's a good idea to just commit instead of trying to make the corner. A little too much of a slide there. Scooby behind me. It's got the Dutch bright orange Ferrari. Tires are very squealy right now. Should be fine not changing tires during this race too. It's just fuel. Yeah, D-Type, it's one of the few cars in this set on disc brakes. Every other car pretty much has drums. I think there's a couple others that might have discs as well. So braking zones are definitely good, but this car, D-Type, is actually not great at turning. Yeah, you don't have to double clutch, so it's just single clutching, and even that's not completely necessary. So it's not 100% realistic, but they did model clutch slip in things, which is cool. If you're not using auto clutch and you hit the gas too early after you shift, you'll actually slip the gear, and you won't really accelerate. You have to back out of the throttle again to get it to engage. It's neat. You don't see that in a lot of mods. All right, I've got a few seconds here on Scooby behind, I think. Not too far off Robillard in front, so I try to keep the pressure on. Third gear. Just taking it a bit easier. My lap times aren't the best. I guess 120 or 226 is not bad. Down a second gear for the hairpin here. Just gonna run a bit wide there. Can save a lot of time just being tidy through there. It feels slow, but and that Ferrari pulls away here as it accelerates. Only once we get to fourth gear do we really have that extra speed. A bit wide there. Yeah, it seems like there might be a good battle for the lead up there. Yeah, I don't know, Hayden. There are pro esport drivers in here, and as you can tell, I am not one of them. But I have fun driving these cars, even alone on circuits like this. So I think I can keep up with Jackson here. Just try to stay consistent. Watch for little mistakes. We got a yellow flag in front. Ooh, a D-type ran wide. Please don't come right back onto the track into me. And he does. I really sacrificed my exit there. All right, he's gonna let me in at least, but lost a bunch of time through that. Better to be safe than sorry, though. I think that's the pole sitter, so yeah, he's gonna go right by me again. Not really gonna fight for this. It's too early. If it was the last lap or something, sure. Let's see if I can follow him here. Use this slipstream maybe to catch up to Jackson again. Scooby's not too far behind now. Nice oversteer there. We're still not super far spread out. There's a good pack here. Ooh, Jackson runs a bit wide in front. These two are going to be side by side then. A lot of dust in front. Careful on the throttle there coming up the hill. All right, these two are going to have a bit of a battle. I just got to see if I can make something out of it. Nicholas is very quick. Oh man, just saw a car up here right in front of me for a split second. I hope that wasn't real. Scary stuff like that. Lap traffic too is going to be interesting because none of the cars are truly slow. So if we do, when we do catch some of the slower traffic, they might actually be quicker than us through a lot of the lap. We'll only really have the speed on the highway there. Yeah, I am using an H shifter, full H pattern. Understeer a little bit there. We're all right. past the start finish. So what are we looking at? About 3/4 tank. Car feels good. Jackson used a lot of the dirt there through one. It's almost a cut. See if I can keep some heat on him. And he already ran wide at a couple corners, so I'll be able to work my way into a pass just the old-fashioned way. Gets it slow down this time. The Ferrari is harder to slow down than the Jag, so big props to the guys racing that. Already 15 minutes into the race. It might be close on fuel. I don't know. The car handles so poorly on low fuel that I don't think it would be worth it. I'd be so slow. Big twitch from Jackson there. Oh, he's very slow too. I had to slow down a lot through the apex. Can't quite get super close. Jittering around quite a lot. It's terrifying. He's gonna let me by on the inside. All right. Scooby is right behind us now too. He might have a good run on me. Let's get around Jackson. I don't know what happened to him there. I think I should be able to pull Scoob on the straight just to the top speed here. Well, thanks for the super chat. I can't quite read it right now. I always appreciate that. I'm not sure I want to read that one anyway, but I appreciate the money nevertheless. All right, 6th place. I'd be super happy with the top 5 in this today. Get ahead of myself though. Yellow flag in front. My eyes open. Oh, Jackson retired. I don't know if he got damage or something. We had a yellow flag there for a second. Ooh, a car spun off. That's a 2-liter class car. I thought it was a swear word in Spanish, isn't it? Well, Scoob runs a little bit wide and back. It's hard to talk and do these cars, so I hope this is entertaining enough. Lost a lot of time here to Nicholas in front, but got around Jackson. Wanmi's still back there. And it seems like there's still a pretty good fight at the front, although Charles might have opened up a pretty good lead. A lot of racing to go though. Early days yet. The 2-hour races that the series will normally run will really be a lot. To drive one of these cars for 2 hours it's not quite the same as other types of sim cars in my opinion. Especially if you're doing heel toe and all that. Yeah, we thought we would leave the weather to be nice today, but that's not to say we won't change up some of the weather conditions. I don't know if we'll do any event in rain. That feels cruel on some of the circuits that we're doing. But it's a lot of fun offline to run in the rain. Down a second gear here. And I made a fatal mistake here. I left my hoodie on for the race. I meant to take my sweatshirt off before this started. I'll have to do it at the pit stop. I don't think I'll be able to do it while we're driving. Unzip it at least. slow through the first corner. Just see Scooby behind me. I don't know if you'll be able to make it out on the stream. Hopefully you can. Luckily, most years the Targa Florio is dry, so it wouldn't necessarily be appropriate to have it wet. But it did rain a few times. 66 was one of the years it rained. Some amazing photographs from that. It's getting a bit cloudy though. The weather does change, but it should stay relatively pleasant. The colors have gone a bit mid-2000s Xbox though. Oversteer there. Scoop is not slow. I think they had a similar approach to myself where start off pretty conservative, just get through the first phase and then start pouring on the speed. Oh man, a couple more cars out. Hope there weren't any big ones. Getting a little bit spread out front here. He's quite fast on the brakes. We'll be able to make the corner. I might be getting set up for an overtake here. Got the speed on the front straightaway. Luckily the D-type is fast in a straight line, but there we go. Slow it down. I think we're coming up on some of the first traffic of the race too, so that'll make things interesting. The remainder, I'm sure. I don't think I need fourth there. Got a Talbot in front. Alright, that was good. I pulled out a bit on him actually through there. 5/10 up on my best lap. It's gonna get faster and faster though. Just the track being more and more rubbered in. It was in qualifying. Oh, we're gonna understeer here. Come on. Really clumsy exit for me. Can't get the accelerator down. Come on, here we go. Yeah. As soon as I had a little bit of a gap, it instantly went away, but it's racing, I guess. I gotta push this braking zone a bit. I don't think I'm going quite deep enough. Oh, it's sideways there. We got it though. So it's a 3-liter car in front. Interesting trying to get by. They're not exactly slow. Gonna let me by, or am I gonna be awkward about this? Oh, come on. That was on me a bit. I hesitated. I should have just turned in, but we got it saved. It was a close call though. Sideways into the braking zone. It's not good. I'll get it slowed down. I don't know, I got that slowed down, but I did. That's what we call parking it on the apex. There we go. Perfect driving line technique. Everybody take notes. Ugh. Gotta settle back in a little bit here. "36 minutes remaining. I'm still over a half tank of fuel. I'm sure somebody is going to try to go the whole distance. So understeer a bunch there again. Going too deep into that corner. I don't know if it was a nice save, but it was a very necessary save. Yeah, I don't think there's much hope in catching the group in front. They're just so much quicker. But I do want to try to hold off Scooby here. And you never know what's going to happen up front before the end of the race. Barely a couple cars dip over the crest in front to get on the front straightaway. A few cars in the pit lane. There's a car parked right in the pit stalls, which I think is going to be an issue. A little more controlled this time coming down here. First gear. More retirements. Technically, though, I'm in the points today. If this was a points race, it's being scored a lot like the championships were in the day. I would be getting 1 point right now. So 6th place is important, both for the overall championship, also for the class championship. We'll keep that in mind as I get to the end. Hopefully I can finish in the theoretical points. Still see one of the D-types up there, but they're quite far up the road. To the edge. Scooby's right there. Just gonna take a lunge from him. Hopefully not. Pretty good run through turn 1. A little bit on the grass there, but it's all right. Right on my bumper. In a second, just use that engine basically to coast it in. Locked up a bit. He ran wide. All right, this is my opportunity to accelerate a bit, gain at least a couple tenths on him. Not enough to get out of slipstreaming though. We still got Juan Mi right behind him too, so it's really a 3-car race here. I'm just leading like a tiny pack. About to mess this corner up again. Balance the car, throttle, wheel. Get it up onto the back straightaway. Just getting to about halfway, and I'm under halfway fuel, so there's no way I'm gonna make it. I'm just really deciding when I want to pit. The car feels okay right now. I'm doing okay. But could I do better if I pit is the question. Also, the pit stop's going to be super long. I'll go another lap or so. I don't know. I'll have to see when some folks in front start pitting too. Here comes Scooby. Oh, I can hear the Ferrari growling. It's looking towards the inside to come down to turn 1. Oh, he's gonna take it. Get down to 3rd gear. That was a good pass. That was a good pass. Fair pass. All right. A little hot there. We're good. Thought I lost the car for a second. All right, let's turn down that other screen because I'm gonna have to adjust. Should have done this maybe on the grid before. Live and learn. Gotta adjust if I want tires or not. 30 minutes remaining. Halfway. Be a good test though. I don't know if the Ferraris can go the whole way. I can't imagine they could. Losing a bunch of time here. This is a bad lap. Down to 2nd gear. I'm also dying of heat right now. I really should have taken off this sweatshirt before we started. All right, I just don't want them to change the tires because that would really mess things up. I want a full tank, which I probably can get away with less, but the car drives so much better. This might be where I'm screwing things up, but we'll see. Here comes Juan Mi. Didn't go for the pass there, which is interesting. I just think I'll be very slow at the end of the race if I took less fuel. I'm already kind of slow. I can feel the cars kind of going away. All right, they're gonna pass on the left. It's fine. I'm going in the pits. Trying not to speed here. Hopefully everything's good with my pit stall and it's not behind. There we go, behind a retired car. They come in the pits, get into the stall. Try not to waste too much time. 32 seconds. That feels like a long time. All right, I didn't stall the car, which is good. We'll say for immersion that that's champagne. Definitely not water. All right, come on. This could have been the worst idea, or maybe it's a good idea. I don't know. All right, pit exit's gonna be the tricky thing here. Oh, I sped a little bit. Hopefully that's all right. That was close, but I got a spot squeaked in there. 3 cars all shaking it up in front. What's he doing here? A dive. Right. Let's get back up to speed. Full fuel. That car's for position, actually. That's the 122. Got a second gear. This is going to get really confusing till the end of the race. I don't know who's taking fuel, who's... I need to get around this 122 as well. I know I'm quicker than him. Spit of flame from him in front. Bunch of cars retiring now. Yeah, this is not the... I didn't come out in the best spot. It would have been good to get out in front of that group of cars, because I'm definitely going to be a little bit quicker than them, especially on this section. I'll have to try to squeak by somehow. All right, got the slipstream a bit. Kind of fade to the inside. I'll get the car slowed down. No, 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 no. No! Oh, it's totally my fault. God damn. Hopefully their car's all right. Mine's actually feeling fine. I mean, he's mad about it. I don't blame him. That was 100% me locking the brakes up, trying to pass the 122 and then running into a slower car. Pretty upset with myself for doing something like that, because that's just like stupid driving. Nicholas got around me there too. Hopefully their car's all right. Somehow mine's not that damaged, which is very odd. I think offline maybe there's no rubber there. Who knows? It's probably just me slamming the brakes wrong. My car feels 100% fine somehow, so I hope theirs is too, and it was just a silly accident. They seem fairly fast, at least staying in front of this yellow car, so hopefully it's something we can laugh about after. I don't know. Still gotta get by these two though, which is the unfortunate part of it. Somehow I got ahead of Nicholas, probably through pit stop, I don't know. I would care a lot less if it was me that threw it into the wall. It's when you hit somebody else and affect their race that you feel really bad about it. Try to pass both of them without issue here. I should have much more speed this time. Hopefully sort things out a bit easier. Still locking up that right front though. Maybe I flat spotted it, I'm not sure. Just understeer so much there. This 206 in front. I think this is a Bristol. Or no, a 206, so it would be a 3-liter car. Maybe a Maserati. Or an Aston. Probably more for the green. They're gonna be quicker through here than me, which is the hard part. Maybe not so much slower, really. All right, so I'm in 16th right now. 21 minutes remaining. Trying to get my head back in it. That incident really disappointed myself, but we'll look at it after maybe and analyze and get better for the next one. It is a test race after all. Couple Frank's pit stop's occupied. That might have been our big issue with this race, and that really, it's really unfortunate if it's the case. That seems like the race itself, or the sim, added some more garages. I thought we knew there were 40, but added more garages, and it put them inside of the pit stall for some cars, which is no good. But something that we can learn from, I guess. I hope it doesn't ruin their race, but we'll see. Frank is pretty high up the order too, so that'd be no good. Drivers are leaving the race if they crash or get crashed into or retire for some reason. I think that's what's happening. Under 20 minutes to go though. It goes by so fast. I don't know watching if it's the same way, but driving, I just suddenly we're in the last third of the race. Lots happened. Most of it's good. Just that one crash really gonna taint the whole race for me. It's so dumb of me. It's the kind of thing too, because I'm preaching to everybody about driving safe, so I feel extra bad about making my own mistake, but we'll see if I get a penalty. I don't know. Another string of, I think, 3-liter cars in front of me here. We'll catch in a lap or two. They might not need to stop some of them, so I don't know what's going to end up happening. It looks like Enzo's in the lead right now. I know they're driving a Ferrari though, 5-liter, so seems like we're still leading the way, but if there's some cars that can go the whole distance, you never know who could win. Quite a shakeup. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it doesn't seem like the crash affected either of our races, which is very good. It's just a super silly thing to do. Easy to do though, but. In 17 minutes, I think there's going to be just another 6-7 laps. Still in 16th, so nobody's pitting right now. Either that or they're not able to or something. Still see Nicholas up there. In this yellow car, I think this is our lone Belgian entry. Love the Belgian entries, bright yellow. It's a nice color for a race car. You'd occasionally see a Ferrari in yellow, but it's because it's entered by a Belgian team. Got to fourth too early there. You could hear the revs climb for a second, but the clutch wasn't fully engaged, or disengaged rather, so the engine was just kind of slipping. Transmission was just slipping onto the straightaway. Hope I at least make up a couple spots through pits, or else I'm gonna finish pretty far down the order here. It's all lesson, I guess. Ooh, car in front locks up the brakes. Going a bit wide, I think. It's a white car. I think another German entry. Yeah, I thought almost everybody had to pit except for some of the 2-liter cars. But who knows? We'll see. It'll be different in a 2-hour race too, obviously. "15 minutes to go, 1/4 of the race left. Almost don't want it to end. I'm having a lot of fun driving the car, despite the one big error. Otherwise, it's been a pretty smooth race thus far. Could work on my pit stop setup and everything, but other than that, it seems like it's all right. Driving okay, at least so far. These two in front, epic battles. Hopefully some folks have some good races. It looks like that might be happening. Down a second gear here. Might get the slipstream from the car in front. I think it's a Maserati. I should have a few miles an hour on it. I will not do what I did to that other car. A second gear. Should have the line here in the inside. I'll go really shallow though. Slip right in front. Oh, it's a Talbot. That's right. We had one French car painted German colors. Past the pit lane. Every lap I'm looking to see if there's going to be anybody in there, but I'm getting worried now. 12 minutes to go. Be a really late pit stop in the race if that's when we were going to take it. . Got the Bumblebee Belgian in front though. 333. First gear. They're a little fast. I'm a little fast. We're all sliding here. Oh, understeer so much there. Turn it into oversteer. They're really good at these cars. They're so fast. Well, looks like pitting might have been the wrong decision. I don't know. I don't think I could have made it. I would have had to really save fuel early on, and I was already going very slow. We'll see though. Quite fast here through the kink. We'll try to line it up for the exit. The sweeper, rather. All right, in the slipstream then. We're actually fighting for position here, but I just got a lot of speed on the straightaway. To lock anything up. I got Liam in front. It's one of the admins. Definitely don't want to hit him. Up to 14th now, but that's not good. Not nearly good enough. Oh, they might be pitting actually. All right, couple cars pitting. Thank God. Thank God. So that'll be at least 2 spots there. Up to 13th, 12th. Take that. A couple more getting back into the top 10. 10 minutes to go. The car behind me coming back, just because down the hill the 5 liters are kind of lumbering. It slowed down. We're good. A lot of locking though. Thankfully these tires are hard as a rock. Throughout this entire race we'll probably use 2% of the tire wear. See one car up the road. It looks like Ferran, who's I think in my class, if I'm remembering correctly, slipped a lot there. That one's going to be trickier to catch, but try my very best. Just need those qualifying laps then. A pretty good final corner. I think the fastest lap of the race is at 2:21 somehow, which is absolutely wild. See if there's anybody in the pits. I don't know if I'm seeing anyone. Still in 12th. All right, a few cars battling in front. That'll help me catch them. Good little pack of cars too, and I don't know if they're all for position, but we'll find out. Definitely feel the rubber though. The track is much quicker. At 22 laps in, this is when I'd expect the D-type to run out of fuel if anybody hasn't pit in the D-type. And clearly we've got 6 minutes remaining. 6 minutes is a lot of time to make up by saving. I don't think it would be possible. So, like, the only thing I could have maybe tweaked is how much fuel I put in the car. But it drives so bad on low fuel that I really wouldn't want to be dry at the end of the race. So, I don't know. Stuff to learn over the season, I guess. That was a bad final corner. Not sure this car is for position, but we'll see. Whoa, right out to the edge. There we go. Five minutes to go, so it's going to be 2 or 3 more laps. Almost spun out there. All right, so that's not for position. That's just a back marker. Trying to keep pace up. Nicholas was able to get back up into the top 8 so far, and he was behind me before all the mess in the middle of the race. So I don't know if we'll get back. I mean, I don't think I'm going to get back into the points, but it'll be interesting to see if they're able to. And this will be a Ferrari day. Although Charles at the front, I think they're driving a Jag, so we'll see what happens in the results for sure. Right out to the edge. Past the pits. I'm just looking for somebody, but if somebody's in there now, they messed up, I think. So, man, not even able to get back into the top 10. It's starting to look like. There's another car there. That might be a slow car, though. I think Frank's livery is white. So a really good mix of cars towards the front, because there are absolutely some 2 and 3 liter cars, or at least 3 liter cars in front of me. Frank specifically. Looks like there was a bit of drama down here. Just 2 minutes to go, so I think I'll pass the line and then maybe one more lap. I'm not sure. Already coming to an end. Understeer a ton there. I think this car in front is from, or the driver of it is from the Isle of Man. So that'll be one to watch out for around the mountain course here in a couple months. They've got the very famous, I don't even know what it's called, but on the flag, it's on the side of the car. All right, 1 minute to go. So I'm going to pass the line here, and then I think that might be my final lap, but it all kind of depends where the leader is. Up to the 219. Right past him. It's not for position, unfortunately, but another pass past the pit lane. Absolutely empty, of course. All right, time is out. So depending on where the leader is, either coming across the line this next time will be the finish or the time after. You can see the two white cars there, I think are the two in front of me technically, holding me from a top 10, but they're very quick. Even though I'm quicker in a straight line, we got a Mercedes in front here. Down a second gear. Final time, I think, through this tricky left-hander. Chase the Merc up the hill. We don't really need to force a move or anything. Wait on third gear a little bit there. Get the throttle down. Hopefully pass before the big bend. That might not be a Merc. That might be a Maserati. Who knows at this point? I think it is. No, it's a Merc. Who knows? These two side by side in front. I think that might be the fight for the win of one of the classes. We'll come to the end of the straightaway, down to second gear. If we see a flag waving, that's it. If not, we got to do another lap. Third gear, sky's just opened up. It's very beautiful now. Bright blue. Not the race I wanted. Certainly not the race I wanted. With the mistake in the middle. Not doing super well in the overall result, but I think that was a successful first race for this series. And I'm excited to look back at what all went on up front and with everybody else. Finishing 12th out of 40. Of course, a lot of other classes and things in there. Ascari, I believe, is in a different class, finishing up in 5th position. Well, we'll look at the results here in a second, but there is I think there's some exciting stuff that went on during this. The Jag, I don't think was the car to have for this race. I believe Enzo's in a Ferrari, and I believe the Ferrari made it without a pit stop, so definitely hurt us having the pit stop. Through the hairpin again. Not as many calamities down here, at least from my point of view. And Seemed like overall the driving was... I'm just reading some of this chat in the race. Seems like, you know, for the most part, it was pretty clean. I know there were a good amount of retirements, but that's kind of to be expected. And as long as it's not these colossal incidents, everything should be good. It's a 307 there. It's a cool looking car as well. Oh, somebody ran out of fuel, maybe. We're pushing them to the line. We'll finish the parade lap. Why not? I hope it was a little bit fun to watch it. I don't know if it would have been entertaining or boring or hopefully fun to watch. It was certainly a little bit different than I thought it was going to be. I just didn't have the pace, I guess. But we'll digest everything that's gone on. I will be doing sometime this week, I don't know exactly when, but I'll try to put together some sort of highlights. I don't know how long it'll be or how detailed it'll be yet. It kind of depends on what I can get my hands on as far as footage and stuff. But we'll do a little recap of the event and then talk about the next one and everything. Yeah, I'm very excited for the championship because the cars, I think they have different strengths. Some are good on pace, some are, you know, a little bit faster to drive. They're faster in different ways. When I was racing the Ferraris there, they clearly could pull on me coming through the corner, doing some drifting here. Oh, I don't want to bottle it up. Oh, Frank spins into the fence. There you go. But especially at some of the different tracks, I think the Isle of Man, the Targa Florio, it's going to be more about how well you've actually prepared and learned the track. Finishing those events will be really hard. Yeah, if any of you want to race in this, it is open. Anybody can join. It is going to be tough to qualify for races. I'm not confident that I'll actually qualify for all of them. I expect, you know, it maybe to go down a little bit in popularity. A bit, but it might go up for certain events. Who knows? It's kind of just an exciting time to be racing. I think everything locked up on me. I think the session ended. We'll throw on that nice jazz music again. See if I can see the results maybe. Oh yeah. Glad the stream was smooth. Yeah, it seems like I had some issues the other day testing, but it seems like it went well. All right, so let me, I'll try to see if I can get the results so we can at least go through them together. That's not the results. Those are the standings before the start. We'll exit here. See if I can get the results itself. Yeah, if I don't qualify, I will definitely stream the race. I hope I qualify. I mean, obviously I do, but it's not guaranteed. Nobody is locked in. Nobody is locked in at all to any of the races. The championship as well, and this is all in the rule book and everything if you read it, but it's only going to count your top 4 results. So you can actually miss 2 races, you know, if you score in the rest of them, and still technically be just as able to win. Let's see here. The races, though, they'll all be taking place at this time, once a month. See if I can pull up a couple things here. All right, race. I think that race is maybe the other race. It's like Thomas Crabb won the second race. Thomas Crabb in a Aston Martin ahead of Nate Cohen and Valentin Ilev. Well, National Racing Network, if you're interested, throw me an email. My email should be in the description, and I'll follow up with you all. follow up with you all. Hold on, I gotta see if I can get the results here. I don't know where they'll be. Hopefully we have them. I hope they're not totally gone. I'm sure they're somewhere. If anybody has the results or knows where they are, definitely send them to me. I'll try to figure this out for the next one. Let's see here. High quality streaming. Can't even find the results to the race. Session results. Let's see here. For round 1 test race. Select. Aha! Here we go. All right, let me share this quickly. Success. All right, I'll make them a bit bigger and we'll scroll through them. I'll be right in the corner. Perfect. All right, Enzo Fazzi wins Enzo Racing, I believe the Ferrari. I don't know if we have that detail on here. 5-liter class, though, wins the race. Ahead of Yurne, and I might have the pronunciation wrong from that. Yeah, no hiccups from the server, it seems like. But Yurne finishes in second. Let me see if I can pull up. I'll pull up the car list just so we know a little bit more about everything. But Yurne, or I'm probably not pronouncing that right now. I gotta learn some of these names. Yeah, I think there's some surprising results. That's kind of why I want to go through them in some detail here. All right, so yeah, second place is another Ferrari. That was that number 121. I don't know if I saw that car at all. I'll have to go back and look at it. My face looks so funny in this. All right, we'll make me a little bit smaller. That's better. That's better. But Yurne finishes second. Charles in the D-type finishes in third. They were very quick, but obviously had to pit, and that's the difference. I think the Ferraris maybe didn't have to pit. So maybe that was the difference. So that's your podium, overall podium and 5-liter class. Looks like the 5 liters did come out on top here, but it wasn't only 5 liters, because now in fourth place, Joachim, and that is a D-type as well. Definitely saw that car at one point. 142. Finishing in fourth. And then in the 2-liter, Maserati Ascari finishes 5th overall. So that's overall points for a 2-liter car. This is the kind of stuff I'm excited about. There's more to it than just picking the fast car. Obviously some incredibly skillful driving, maybe some advantages in fuel stop strategy and things, but that's awesome. 2-liter car in the overall points as well. That would pick up 2 points overall, and of course the class win for the 2-liter. Oh, I just kept in the slipstream the whole time. Well, that's smart. I don't know how fun that would be to drive, but that's how you get it done. So 5th overall, 6th of Scooby, raced with him a lot. It's unfortunate I had to pit. I don't think it would be possible to not pit, but obviously I'll have to look back at what Charles did during the race to finish in 3rd. Yeah, ended 3rd. Scooby in 6th, then 7th, Juan Me, who was behind me there for the start. Nicholas, who passed me. So this is kind of my potential, I think. Obviously, Nicholas is much faster than I am, but finishing 8th overall. Not overall points, not even class points, just outside the class points. It's a tough one for the Jags this week. Ferran, another 5-liter car. I believe that's a Ferrari as well. Yeah, it's the number 122, which we did see. That's the one I was kind of trying to pass as I made that big incident. All right. Frank then, first 3-liter car. So Frank wins the 3-liter category, 10th overall. It's really good. Frank's driving that Aston Martin DB3. So finishes up there just ahead. I think there was a tight battle with this 2-liter car. And it's another name too that I gotta learn the pronunciations. But Macy, but a good little duel there. We saw some of that right at the end of the race. And then myself, 12th position in the D-type, up and down kind of race. I'm happy the whole race went well. I'm very upset I hit a car during it, and I will apologize. I've apologized a bunch. I think it was Nick DG, but I'll go look back at it, and I feel awful about that. It's just a silly mistake. Hopefully you were able to continue, and it didn't damage your car too bad. Let me come down to Senna Stompmeal. That's that Belgian entry, the Belgian B, as we call it. Finishing 13th. This is another 2-liter car, so I guess your 2-liter podium is Ascari, Macy, and Senna. Your 3-liter podium, Frank. I can't believe the 2-liters beat the 3-liters too, but that's awesome. But Frank, Casper, and Rory. Nope, Casper and Martin. Sorry, Rory in 4th. But a good little battle there too. Look further down the order. Liam finishing in 19th. I missed Sean Campbell there, and Tony Baloney, everyone's favorite lunch pal. 14th. 15th, Sean Campbell. 16th, Casper Stoltze. 17th, Martin Beyer. 18th, Rory O'Shea. 19th, Liam Dolan. Silberwolf finishing 20th. Rees finishing back at 21st. Good job. Heard it was no pit stops there, which is good. Nick DG, I think this is the person I hit. I will apologize to them, but finishing back in 22nd. Rigors, 23rd. Get to in 24th. Sassy McSassy Pants finishing 25th. Atchie in 26th. Tilo, 27th. Daniel, 28th. Nikolai in 29th. 30th. Ryan Kane, 31st. Keeper, and 32nd, the last finisher. So we had 32 finishers. That's incredible. McKay, okay. Thank you for teaching me. I'll remember that. McKay. Great job there with the finish too. 32 out of 40 finished, which I think is really good. I'm very impressed with that. Very happy with that. Do have some retirements. Kai Tucker, even Rico, Ervan, Shaky. I saw there was some chat there. Hopefully nothing too bad happened. Jamf, David, Sizek, Jackson, Robillard, and Bastian finishing out all the way at the back. Couple 5-liter cars at the back. Very happy with that. I thought that was a great race. I hope it was fun to watch. Let me get myself back on the screen here. There we go. Hope it was fun to watch. Follow Mo. I will do. I appreciate everybody joining. There's a lot of folks in the stream today. Hopefully fun. There'll be some more of this coming this week. I'll get some highlights put together, hopefully, to show you what happened, hopefully. And then the next race won't be for a little while. We'll take a quick peek at the schedule here before we wrap things up. Got the old rule book here. We jump down to season schedule. Here it is. So we just wrapped up that test race at Rouen. And so in 1 month, July 23rd, we'll be racing at Longford. From there, we'll go to Spa on August 20th. Isle of Man for the first GT race in September 17th. Dundrod, October 22nd. The Targa Florio in November. And then on to Le Mans, the fast straightaways for the finale. That'll be interesting. But I think that's it for here today. I don't think there's anything else to go over right now. If you're interested in joining, all of the information is in the description of the stream, the user manual. We'll get to everybody that signed up. Practices for Longford, the official ones, don't start until July 18th. So we've got a few weeks to relax finally But hope you enjoyed it. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thanks for racing in it. For everybody that did race in it, I'm so sorry for hitting somebody. It was a really silly mistake on my part, but live and learn. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you all next time.